Grand Prix Sunday coming up very, very quickly, but Saturday afternoon there is a lot of harness racing people here. Keith Ballantyne, who is, are you the president or the CEO or all of the above?
No, well, president, dog's body, whatever you want to call it these days, but president.
Now we're racing at Akaroa. It's the Akaroa Trotting Club meeting, once a year meeting.
Yep. We're just a single club. We only race once a year, which is around this time of the year. And we're a tenant club, so Banks Peninsula very kindly, well, we have to pay them for it, but we lend their course for the day and we get into it.
So this is Banks Peninsula, is what it's affectionately known as, or it goes by a different name as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is Motukarara Sports Centre, which Banks Peninsula is the main club that operates out of here, and then us just one time a year.
As an Australian who has trouble with your New Zealand words, to call it Motukarara. There I go, is that okay?
Motukarara was very good. You actually did that very, very well, and that's a tough one.
Right. Couple of questions. Akaroa, I've been to it. Had lunch there, and I must say what a spectacular venue it is. And if anyone comes to New Zealand, they come for New Zealand Cup Week, or if they come for Grand Prix Sunday, I encourage people to go there because it is an amazing town. It's an old whaling town, French whaling town.
Correct, it is an old French whaling town, and it's sort of a wee bit of France here in New Zealand, and it's only an hour and a wee bit out of Christchurch. Great place to come and visit. The locals out there love to see tourists, and of course, like everywhere, had a couple of bad years after COVID, so they're just starting to wind back up now, and so they'll be more than happy to see as many Australians as possible.
It's a tiny little parcel of land, and it is, as I said, a beautiful place to go and visit, but it's there's not a lot of ground or room there to move. So how does Akaroa get a trotting meeting, and how does this all come about?
Well, it started probably many years ago. There was a few locals out at Akaroa who decided that they were harness racing enthusiasts, so they did a bit of racing on the beach out there, formed a wee bit of a committee, then talked to the guys here in Christchurch, talked to BP, Banks Peninsula, said, can we run an on-course meeting? So back in those days wasn't full TAB, it was just on-course only. Then became an equalisator meeting, and then eventually, thanks to one of our local MPs hounding the then Minister of Racing, we managed to get a full TAB licence, and it's been the case since 1991, and we continue to today.
How important is it for the community?
Oh, look, it's country racing. I don't know what it's like in Australia, but the visions that I see, country racing is still extremely important to every code, because this is where we all learn and get hooked, and we start gambling, and we get hooked even further with the great activity and the getting into the industry. So you can have your big fancy meetings at your Menangles and Addington and Alexandra Park, but really this is where it all comes from. People get hooked in. Kids come and see the horses, and I know for myself, my dad was a timekeeper at the races, and some 60 years ago, and now I've always been into the harness racing ever since that day.
And I totally agree with that. And the beauty of this is it is so unique. It is not Menangles, the Addingtons. It's they have their special, like they have sand tracks, and this is run professionally. The racing is professionally stewarded. Everything comes over the rules. The venue is in the same boat, yet it's also so laid back. It's got such a great feel. You can bring a picnic rug. You don't have to bring a picnic rug because there's plenty of places for you to sit and eat as well. It is so cool. It's almost harness in its rawness, if you like. And I've loved being here. I've only been here for a bit over an hour, and I've just absolutely loved so far what I've felt here as well. Yeah,
it's very much so. It's this is, as I said, this is where we first get our love of the industry. And I mean, the trainers love racing on the grass. You get our nominations this year. I think we had 170 nominated for the meeting. Addington will race tomorrow with 100. So you've got a lot of trainers out there who look for the grass track season, start to nominate in every single meeting that you'd go to in the grass track, whether it be here or at Methven or Rangiora. They're all that country sort of feeling to them, and very well supported by trainers, owners and the likes. So it's great racing.
I want to start getting people, because you guys hopefully will run every year, and they come here for the Grand Prix week on the Sunday, get away from Australia, get over here to New Zealand, make sure they come out of here. Because from Addington itself, you'd only be an hour from the actual Addington racetrack, wouldn't you?
Oh, easily only an hour. Yeah. And well under probably an hour. And yeah, that's something that we're talking with Harness Racing about. We'd love to sort of make this a bit of an iconic day leading into Grand Prix. Even, this year we talked about it, we'd sort of struggled with the time frames that we had, but we'd have loved to do a boys versus girls race day and have the drivers competing against each other. Get a whole lot of tradies out here as well, doing a few boys versus girls. Make it sort of something that's so that Canterbury will win by having something extra on the Grand Prix weekend.
You're not going to rest on your laurels?
Hell no.
Which is great. Keith, thank you. They're on the track for the third race here. It is such a beautiful setting. I probably should have had it turned the other way with the horses, but you've got like a marquee area up there, the horse area, you've got the kids' carts getting ready to come back out again. There's plenty going on, mate. Thank you very much. Beautiful, and I encourage anyone, get here to Banks Peninsula, or what did you call it? Oh, I'm getting in trouble.
Akaroa,
Motukarara, but Akaroa on the Saturday before. The Sunday, geez, that's a special sight, watching them all warm up out there. But yeah, it's I tell people to come here, but Canberra actually brought me here on a non-race day, and even just to be able to walk around the place on that day was just special. It's a really special part of New Zealand harness racing, and it's a great place, and I think well done to you guys for having a race meeting here. Good luck for the rest of the day.
Thanks, Paul, and good luck to all our friends in Australia, and don't forget, nothing better than punting on the grass in New Zealand. It's not called a punter's graveyard for no reason.
Thank you very much, Keith.